Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in the air, I'm shooting for the sky. Landing on the moon, walking on the sun. Taking over the game, give it back when we done. Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in the air, I'm shooting for the sky. Landing on the moon, walking on the sun. Taking over the game, give it back when we done. I'll give it back when we done. 10,000 hands in the air, have you ever seen? Work 9 to 5 or 5 to 9, do you ever dream? They in the red, but my stalk is green. Proud like I reached the clouds, all off a beam. Dreams on lucid, films on Lucas. Sound on surround, and the crowd on stupid. Who that chick Dion? That's Dion on Clueless. You circling around the money, sitting in a Cuban car. Feel the dreams, they said I'm too corny. Funny, I got the ears all on me. Fears all gone, and my peers all wrong. So keep your 2 cents in every phrase y'all coining. That's just common sense, all the hating, I honored it. I don't leap, I quantum it. I don't answer, I problem it. I just drop shit while they asking what a colonic is. Pinky, you know what I'm pondering? Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in the air, I'm shooting for the sky. Landing on the moon, walking on the sun. Taking over the game, give it back when we done. Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in the air, I'm shooting for the sky. Landing on the moon, walking on the sun. Taking over the game, give it back when we done. I'll give it back when we done.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up. Happy Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday, right? I've been kind of mixed up lately. I've been busy. I've been scrambling. I've been doing a lot of stuff, but it's Tuesday. And salute to all of the members tuning in across social media platforms. I see Nova in the building. I see my sis Sadiq in the building. I see Oak Cliff in the building. Let's see, I got CB in the building. Who else we got in here? Sin City, of course. All my dogs always in the building. My guy Los in the building. David's in the building. Salute to everyone out there, man. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share the content, like the content. Let everybody know that we are live. We are live at 5. You know what I'm saying? We are live at 5. It's a little bit earlier than expected, but I got some things I've been working on. For those of you know, I've been training a lot of boxing, man, and excelling and loving boxing. With to my trainer Glenn, and about to go get some more work in today. So I was like, let me go live early, because when I get out the ring, y'all, and he puts me in the sauna and I run my 2 to 3 miles, I don't want to talk about anything. You know what I'm saying? Turn my volume up. All right, they want to crank me up a little bit. Hold on. Let me crank up just a little bit for y'all to make sure y'all can hear me loud and clear, because I got some stuff I definitely want to talk about. Yeah. They crank me down. Yeah. They trying to turn me down. You know what I'm saying? Turn me down. They try to turn me down. All right, there we good. We should be good right now. So like I said, I've been doing some boxing stuff, and when I get outside the ring, man, I'm not trying to go no content, but I wanted to talk to you guys because the Dallas Cowboys had their OTAs today. Say it with me, mandatory OTAs. That means that if you ain't there, right? If you ain't there, then there's going to be a penalty, you know what I'm saying? A financial penalty if you're not there. So we're definitely going to talk about OTAs here in a second. Did I watch the BET Awards? I didn't even know BET was still on. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know BET was still on. You know what I'm saying? I ain't watched BET probably since college. I saw they're bringing it back. Salute to my girl Ashley Moss and Cam Newton. 106 in sports. They're doing this 106 in sports thing. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? BT, Cam, if you need me, hit me. I can do a little Freestyle Friday. I can do a little J Tuck the Poster Boy, and maybe I'll freestyle battle versus some Eagles fans or something on 106 in sports. But I haven't watched BT since the college dorms. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, I don't even know what channel that is on, because I'm always talking sports with y'all. I ain't got time for BT, but wanted to talk about a few things before we get into OTAs that I think is extremely important. You guys know I love the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think that is an understatement. I think that's the reason why I'm here, because we all have a passion and love for the Dallas Cowboys, right or wrong, win or lose, right? But I will also say this. I also have a strong connection and a care for this Cowboys space and this Cowboys community, you guys, right? Because without you guys tuning in, commenting, doing all the things that you do, sharing the content, right, there would be no platform for me to do all the things that I do, right? So I care about you guys. I enjoy talking to you guys. And I also want to look at not only for the team's best interests, but also your best interests as well. There's been opportunities and different things that kind of comes towards this channel. And I'm just like, I just don't think that's a good fit for us personally, not what we're trying to build and what we're trying to do. And, salute to my dog, Rome, CFT, y'all know that's my brother, man. And also Boss Cowboy. They kind of inspired today's first half of the show. If you don't know, Boss did a phenomenal show, I think 2 to 3 days ago, when he was breaking down John Maxwell's leadership books. And for me, I'm a reader. I love to read. That's something I'm always doing constantly. I have fully embraced my UNC mode, right? I am UNC mode activated. And one of my biggest joys is I go out there and sit on my patio, right? Well, it depends on the neighbor's dog. 'Cause our neighbor's dog is a pit and he barks nonstop, right? But the neighbor dog isn't outside. I like to go on a patio, take my dog out back, my cat out back, right? Sit outside and I just read. It's something I really love to do. I've been doing on the weekends. I do it after I get done for my workouts. And I'm probably going to do that shortly after I get back from the ring tonight, right? Just love reading. So John C. Maxwell is one of my favorite authors. You should definitely check his out. I mean, he has bangers after banger after banger, right? So he did a video on John C. Maxwell talking about leadership qualities. And, I was talking to Rome and DMV in our chat like we do every morning. And, Rome had sent me something. And when I saw it, it was disturbing, but I think it should be discussed. Now, I don't know this person. Of course, I didn't watch the video or anything like that, right? But he sent me this post or this video on YouTube, and I'll let you guys be the judge of this. Micah Parsons exposes DeMarcus Lawrence for going bankrupt. DeMarcus Lawrence in a $1 billion scam. You see D-Law with the AI getting arrested, right? But that's not the concerning part, right? The concerning part, y'all, is that this video had 26,000 views in 11 hours, all right? Now, let's kind of just update it just a tad bit. Let's update it just a tad bit, and let's just take a gander where this video currently stands, all right? This video right now, y'all, is at 65,000 views of Micah Parsons exposing DeMarcus Lawrence for going bankrupt. There's another one, as you guys see. He ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. DeMarcus Lawrence's new footage with Mike McCarthy's wife goes viral. And listen, Mike McCarthy's my dog. You know what I'm saying? Mike McCarthy's my guy. But I don't think, no disrespect, I don't think that's Mrs. McCarthy. You know what I'm saying? Right? And then there's another one. NFL players who were ranking high in gang members, 318,000 views. Right? 318,000 views in 2 weeks of NFL players who were highly ranked gang members. Now, my dog Oak Cliff, perfect segue. All right, let me put you back on the screen. Hold on, let me turn this off real quick, right? It's fake, though. It's fake, right? I think that we all agree that that is fake, right? But here is the concerning part, right? If you click on it, which that's all they really want us to do. You know what I'm saying? That's all they really want us to do. There are tons of Cowboys fans in the comments condoning it. Tons. People who follow my channels are in there. Lou's channels, Henny's, they are in the comments. I got my camera over it because I don't want you guys, you know what I'm saying? But look, there's tons of comments. There are tons of comments about this video of Micah Parsons exposing DeMarcus Lawrence for this fake ass $1 billion scam. All right. So what is the point that I'm trying to make, y'all? Is that when I first got into this community, the YouTube content creator space prided itself on being different from the ESPNs or the Fox Sports or the TMZs and all that, right? We really prided ourselves on being different. And that's what made us special. That's what made Law special. That's what made Sky special, and Vach and Foots and Big Game and Boss and also and myself and Mark Holmes, right? It was a place where we could come as passionate Dallas Cowboys fans and get quality content about our team. But what has happened, y'all? People have figured out, oh shit, there is money there. There is money to be had in the space that Law has built, Shango has built, Mark Holmes has built, the West Coast, the list goes on and on. Oh, there is money there, right? So there are people continuously coming in to this community and manipulate it for the sake of their own financial gain. You see what I'm saying? Now, people who don't know any better, because we're a lot of us are smart, right? We know this is bullshit. We know it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just know it's bullshit, right? But there's so many people who do not know, and they actually believe it, right? They actually believe that this is some real shit. Now, there were some people in the comments like, yo, some clickbait. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is fake news. This is this and that. But YouTube tip, right? They don't give a damn if you know it's fake or not. If you comment or interact, click on it. So I just counted for a click just by pulling up the video. That's all that these people care about, because it goes towards the CPM. It goes towards the ad revenue. Okay. Now, I don't know who this person is. I could really care less. But what I'm trying to explain to Cowboys Nation, if this random is smart enough to figure this out, don't you think that there's other quality content creators or partially quality content creators who are smart enough to figure out the same exact thing? Just like my dog Lou says, the algorithm is blind, right? The algorithm is blind. It don't give a damn, right? All it's going to know is that 63,000 Cowboys fans click this. So I'm going to just start recommending this shit to Cowboys fans, because obviously they like clicking on it. The YouTube algorithm does not care, right? And I had posted this tweet other day, right? There are a lot of content creators, media people who want to come off as independent, right? I'm independent. I'm a content creator. I have independent thought. No. Even if you left your corporate job and you came and became a YouTuber and you put shit out like this for financial gain, you're not independent. You just got a new manager. The algorithm's now your manager. The algorithm will tell you what to do, when to post. The algorithm will tell me, hey, your viewers like your content at 6 p.m., right? So I want you to post, your viewers like watching these kind of videos. Your viewers like these type of thumbnails. And it's up to me as an independent content creator to be like, I don't give a fuck that my viewers like that I go live at 6 p.m. I got stuff to do. I'm going to drop the video at 5. I don't give a damn that my viewers like that I do film sessions and make it with, I don't care. We're going to just talk live today. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have control. But some people, when they come into this, that money starts coming in, they lose sight on what's the real focus, right? And for me specifically, I can't speak on behalf of nobody else. I never came into this game for money. I came into this game because of my love for this team and this fan base, and I want to win a championship. That was it. I didn't even know there was money in this. You know what I'm saying? I honestly didn't even know there was money in it, right? So that's the difference. Now, what are you really getting at, Tuck? Because you don't know this person, NFL icons. You're not even watching this shit. You probably blocked it, right? Well, I want to take you guys to a book, right? And it's a book that I've read numerous times. You guys know I'm a sales guy. And for all my people in sales, and even if you're not in sales, I would probably recommend reading it as well, right? But the book is called The One Sentence Persuasion Course. 27 Words to Make the World Do Your Bidding. It's by Blair Warren. Now, it's kind of diabolical, but it's really a good ass book, right? So if you're in sales, marketing, it's a good book, right? And in this book, they give these phrases that if you want to sell, right, legally, sell legally, you know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all, you know what I'm saying? If you want to sell legally, ways that you can persuade people to do your bidding for you. Now, I am not a political person, you know? I really don't get into it, though. If you probably saw my Twitter the other day, you probably think the opposite, right? But people who use this technique is politicians. And they are masterful at this, right? And some of the things that they talk about in the book specifically are these values, right? People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams. So that's one, right? Justifying their failures, okay? I want you guys to stop at that one. Justifying their failures, right? So what do you mean by justifying their failures? I think there's an ebook as well. There's ebooks for everything right now. I had the hard copy, but there's an ebook. I also think there's an Audible book as well. So I do a little bit of both, right? I do audio books when I'm in the gym, and then when I want to sit out and be my old self on the patio, that's when I'll sit down and read, okay? But justifying their failures, okay? Just stick with me, all right? What does justifying failures really mean, okay? Let's say, Swain, I'm your personal trainer, okay? And I'm trying to push you to lose 30 pounds. I don't know how big Swain is, right? So, Swain, I'm going to get you to lose 30 pounds, okay? And Swain, we're doing all the things. We're tracking our macros. We're working out, right? But all of a sudden, you're just not hitting the target, right? If I wanted to justify your failures, well, I can say, hey, bro, I get it, Swain. You're not hitting your target. That's not your fault. You're busy. You got a family. I mean, your girl is cooking a lot, right? You know, food's expensive. Eating healthy is expensive. So I will be justifying the failures of Swain not hitting his target by putting it on somebody else. Y'all make sense? That makes sense? All right. So then Swain is going to be closer to me as his personal trainer because, well, I'm not putting the blame and the failure on Swain, right? I'm putting it on everything else, okay? I think some of you smart ones understand where I'm going, right? So he'll continue to buy my personal training. He'll continue to stay with Tuck because I'm not saying, bro, you effing up. You not eating right. It's all on you. Stop making excuses, right? You know what I'm saying? It's not your girl. It's not your kid's fault. You just don't want it bad enough. Typically, if I was to do that, Swain would say, man, Tuck's always blaming me. He's always coming at me. He's always being too negative. I don't want to rock with Tuck. I want to go find me another trainer to justify my failures. You see where I'm going with this? All right. Cool. Stick with me. Little life lessons and Cowboys lessons mixed in, you know what I'm saying, mixed with both. All right. So another one that they talk about is confirming their suspicions, right? And like I said, not to get too political, this is what a lot of politicians do, right? If you have some suspicions like, oh, these people are going to come into your country and take over the world, right? if I confirm that, yeah, see, Tuck gets it. He confirms. He confirms that we can't have these kind of people in our country because they're going. So I just confirmed it, right? Boom. Now you love me. So now I'm justifying your failures, right? I'm not going to say, hey, you can't find a good job because you're not qualified and you probably need to get a better education or switch your location and relocate. I am going to say, hey, you can't find jobs in your area because of that person over there, okay? I'm also going to say because this person over there is allowing these people in your country, that is why you are struggling financially finding a job. All right, cool. All right. So the last one is extremely important, okay? The last one, they teach you to throw rocks at their enemies. We see it all day on social media, whether you're left or you're right, or you know what I'm saying. I don't even know. I don't know. I was called a Republican other day, right? I was called a Republican Trump supporter, and then the next tweet I was called a lib. So I don't know what the hell I really am. You know what I'm saying? But okay, now we didn't divided everyone. Let's find someone to throw rocks at, and they are the enemy. All right, they are the enemy. Okay. All right. So y'all get what I'm saying. So that's enough with the political aspect. So Tuck, why are you talking about this as the Dallas Cowboys are gearing up for camp? We had OTA news. What the hell are you talking about? All right. Well, let's go back. All right. Let's go back just slightly. Okay. This time last year, the Dallas Cowboys came off a horrible loss, right, to the Green Bay Packers, okay? I was there. We got blown out the building, okay? It was embarrassing. The Dallas Cowboys fan base, they just wanted blood, all right? So who was it originally? It was Dan Quinn's fault. Y'all remember those conversations? Dan Quinn was too much of a player's coach. Dan Quinn was a friend. Dan Quinn didn't hold the players accountable. Dan Quinn hated linebackers, so he wanted Bobby Wagner, and everybody got injured. Dan Quinn doesn't make adjustments. Dan Quinn can't make players be disciplined. So it was all Dan Quinn's fault with everything that we were talking about, right? And then what happened? There was some content creators, some media members. What did they do? Justify the failures. The reason why the season blew up and we got beat by Green Bay, yeah, it was Dan Quinn's fault. Shit. Right? Confirm their suspicions. Yeah, Dan Quinn did not like linebackers, actually. He did self-sabotage because he had one foot out the door because he wanted to go to Seattle and Washington. Right? Started confirming those suspicions. Then it was time to throw rocks at the enemy. And who was the enemy? Sometimes it was me, right? I'm sitting there dodging rocks. Like, hey, bro, like, Dan Quinn actually asked for Bobby Wagner. You know, Tuck's a Dan Quinn lover. Stone him. Well, I mean, Dan Quinn's defense leading up was one of the best defenses. Pick up another rock. Yeah. Get Tuck up out of here. Right? Built the enemy. And so what happened is media members, content creators started feeding the angry mob that narrative that Dan Quinn was the enemy, stone him to death, right? They had big ass, bold font and thumbnails about Dan Quinn being the enemy, all right? But it just wasn't Dan Quinn last year. You know, Dan Quinn took some of the fire to blame, but ultimately he went to Washington. But there was another person who took a lot of unnecessary hate, right? Blame, attacks for no reason. Micah Parsons. This time last year, Micah Parsons was the biggest POS on the planet. A guy who's been an all-pro since the moment he stepped on the field. Always worked hard. If there's anyone we could lean on to make things happen defensively, it was Micah Parsons. A player that this team could rally around. You know, completely disruptive on game day that changed the course of the game. Right? There was people who selfishly just put the blame unnecessarily on Micah Parsons. Why? Because they needed blood. Cowboys fans needed blood. So I had to feed them, right? Y'all remember the narratives, right? Y'all remember the narratives? Micah Parsons was lazy, didn't watch film, didn't care about his teammates, was a solo act. You never saw Micah Parsons around his teammates. He was just a loner. Now, there were some individuals, even though I was at the Green Bay game, hurting, bleeding, like, oh, whoa, okay. I get we're all upset, but that's not true when it comes to Micah Parsons. That's not true. Like, he was just with Chauncey Golston. Like, if anybody on this team believes in Mozzie Smith, it's Micah Parsons. So what do you mean he doesn't interact with the younger guys? Well, what do you mean he's not a leader because he missed voluntary OTAs? He's always missed voluntary OTAs, but's been there for the mandatories. What? Hold on. What's going on? What do you mean Micah Parsons disappears in the back half of the season? So then there's little old me, there's little old boss, little old DMV, and a few little others that is breaking all these false narratives about Micah Parsons because it was easy peasy. My guy is Skywalker, like all of us. I literally did a video, and it's still up, where I broke down the film from the first half of the season, from the back half of the season, with the statistics showing you the numbers were pretty much the same the first half. I think the only thing that fell off the year prior was he was one sack less. Right? But what happened though? What happened? Yeah, Sean. Sean, remember that, right? Remember the face that Micah Parsons made when we drafted Tyler Guyton? How that was just so disrespectful, right? And y'all remember this? Hold on, y'all remember this? How this was just such a big problem based off of the shoes that Micah wore to a Mavs game? Oh my God. Micah Parsons, who was with Adidas, wore his Adidas partner's shoes to the Mavs game. But he had on a Luka jersey. But that was the topic of discussion, this man's shoes, right? Do y'all remember last offseason how everybody was Micah Parsons is focused on a podcast, even though he didn't record a podcast since the Super Bowl? He's focused on everything but football. He needs to focus on football only. Needs to focus on football only. Right? But now all of a sudden, if Schotty and the quarterbacks go out dancing, it's a cultural change. That's a good thing. They're bonding. Now, if the team goes out paintballing together, oh, that's the culture that we've been missing. Now, Trayvon Diggs drops a YouTube channel. Oh, I love his channel. Tuck, what's your thoughts on CD's YouTube channel? Did you see? Oh, I love CD's YouTube channel. Right? Now, TJ Watt is not at voluntary or mandatory camp. Is anyone questioning TJ Watt's leadership? Now, right? So we sat back all offseason last year and let media members, content creators, right, tear down Micah Parsons for no fucking reason besides the sake of clicks and trying to get relevant. There was no reason. There was no other reason. We sat back and listened to people call Micah lazy, not a team leader, a loner. He's selfish, only cares about himself, is the first one to leave practice, isn't connected. We sat back and let people call all these lazy narratives about Micah Parsons for the sake of no fucking reason besides they trying to get their podcast off. And here is what I do not like. None of those people, I said, my bad. None of those people has said, my bad, I was tripping. Micah Parsons actually does show up in the back half of the season. Actually, if Micah Parsons was lazy and didn't show up in the back half of the season, I would probably have me a Travis Hunter jersey right now. Micah Parsons came back from injury with no Dak Prescott, no Trayvon Diggs, Zach Martin battling a bad back, no Overshown, no DeMarcus Lawrence, and still put this team on his back to the point that we almost made the playoffs. We almost made the playoffs when we didn't even want to. Micah Parsons came back to do that. Micah Parsons right now is being placed, you're right, Sean, in a horrible situation where he has to decide between business and football, which he loves. And even with that, he's still there. He's still there. He could be in Cabo right now. I could be meeting Micah in Cabo in 2 weeks, right? He is still there around his teammates, as he said he would. Now, is he getting all the credit? So where are those people now? How can you be so fucking loud about the negatives and so quiet about the positives? I hate that. It's cowardly to me. I don't respect it. If you're going to be loud about the negatives, when you're wrong too, you're hella wrong, right? Why aren't you as loud about the positives? Do y'all not know how many phone calls I got from who you guys respect in the media about the Dallas Cowboys are trading Micah Parsons, right? It was trade Micah Parsons for 3 first-round picks in last year's draft. They was loud with all that shit. But why is it? What's wrong with your podcast mics now? Right? I'm going to put you guys on something, right? And I will never disclose, in detailed conversations, when I talk to players, I talked to them today for a little bit, right? What I want all you Cowboys fans to understand is this. We're seeing and hearing the brotherhood, right? The brotherhood. We see, Tyler Booker and the offensive line, those guys going to Stars games, and you see the defensive guys hanging out, and you're playing, ping pong in the locker room, and, Dak and everyone's kind of hanging out, and you're seeing this brotherhood. And everybody in the media is just coining that as Brian Schottenheimer. Right? Shotty's changing the culture. Shotty is making it more brotherhood. Shotty is making a connection. Shotty is bringing everybody closer together. And Shotty is making it as a family, right? And I do think Shotty is doing that. But I will tell you this, and I will put this on my 3 beautiful children and everything I love. That is all Micah Parsons. It's all Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons told me that's what he wanted to do 2 years ago, even under Mike McCarthy. He's been wanting this. Micah has been wanting the team to be more as a family, the team to be more as a brotherhood, the team to be more together. This isn't nothing that Micah's just doing now that Shotty is here. He wanted this back when Mike McCarthy, we talked about, because I went back and saw it, because I went to go look. I was like, let me go look to our conversations. It was 2 off seasons ago when we first talked about that. And I told him today, like, hey, bro, everything that you've been wanting, you now got. Go lead us. Cowboys Nation's behind you. He's been asking for this, right? But he got no credit. And I hate the fact that there was so many people that got on their megaphones, got on their platforms. Micah ain't no leader. Micah ain't no leader. Micah ain't no leader for a funky little $2,000 check, right? And now it's crickets. Now it's crickets, right? Because all that they were doing, Cowboys Nation. Now I guarantee these people, they ain't read the book. You know what I'm saying? They probably ain't read the book. But all they was doing is running the same play that I've ran in sales and marketing for years. You know what I'm saying? That's all they were doing. They probably didn't know that they were doing it, but that's all that they were doing. It's the same old play that's been utilized in sales for years. All right. So, in closing, though, right now, what's happening? Okay. Last year, everybody was the scapegoat. Everybody had to go. Everybody was horrible, and get rid of them all, trade Micah for 4 first-round picks. And so it was all negative content based, because that's what the fan base and the algorithm who y'all work for, y'all pimp, you know what I'm saying? Pimp named Slickback was telling y'all what to make. That's what you were doing. You was going upstairs talking to daddy, and daddy algorithm was saying, make some negative ass Micah content, go out on the track, put them blades on, and get me some money, and I'll take my percentage. And I might buy you something nice at the end of the month. And so everybody was making this negative ass content, Micah video, Micah video, Micah video, Micah video, Micah video, Micah video, right? But now, what is Pimp Daddy algorithm telling some of his prized possessions? Hey, baby, they don't like that negativity. They like it when you talk that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got something new this offseason. We got that hopeism, that opioids. So what we gonna do is, when you talk to them, you know what I'm saying, put some of these opioid pills in your purse, and we gonna sell that to them too. And now you got all these people walking on blades selling y'all opioids for daddy algorithm. You know what I'm saying? 2 for 1s. Some people might drop 2 or 3 opioid videos. And now we got the whole fan base high and strong off opioids, where we can't even have a conversation about getting a one tech. Right? So what I'm trying to warn Cowboys Nation is the content space that we knew and love, it's no longer, right? There's a few of us, Lou Takes, JC, Angry, DMV, Rome, Boss, I don't want to forget anybody, Scargate. Like, there's still a few, it's like a little cluster of a team who really still gives a shit about winning. There's still a cluster of us that still just are here for the Cowboys fans and we just want to win. But I'm telling you right now, be careful, because everybody that you run into, they got a purse full of opioids. And it's not about the team, right? There are people who tell you, I don't want Jair Alexander. He's always hurt. He has missed 21 games in 2 years. What the fuck do you think Trayvon Diggs has done? What the fuck do you think DeMarvion Overshown has done? Right? I don't want Nick Chubb. Right? He's 30 years old and he's coming off an injury. What the fuck do you think Dak Prescott is? What are we doing? Oh, I don't want a running back coming off an injury. Do you know Phil Moffa's coming off of shoulder surgery? I know Phil Moffa has shoulder surgery on a workhorse back. Did y'all know that? So people are just saying these things, right, with no context, because there's a portion of the fan base, once again, my bad. My dog Hitty says, I love when Tuck cusses. I can cuss now because my kids are older. My kids are, because I used to have them, they're little bitty, they used to watch my show all the time, and I didn't cuss a lot because, they were watching and they were little kids. But now, it is what it is, But what the fuck do you think Dak Prescott is, bro? Like, I literally saw somebody arguing with DMV, saying DMV is scared because he doesn't want to go into the season with the team that he has. He just wants to get better. Like, that was a whole ass Twitter argument. So DMV is the bad guy for wanting to get better. Javante need Jello, right? So Lou is a bad guy because Lou wants a running back. Now, we saw the Denver Broncos draft one of my favorite prospects in RJ Harvey. Did they stop there? Were there a bunch of Broncos fans saying, well, hey, just give RJ Harvey a chance. Let's just run with him. Let's just give him a chance. And I think RJ Harvey is going to get the chance. Or do you think Denver Broncos fans are going crazy right now because now you have RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins? So why does the biggest, best, brightest fan base in all of sports just have to settle? Why do we just have to just be like, all right, be thankful, we got some. Be thankful, Tuck, you got Pickens. Now just be done and go into the season. Why do we have to settle? Why are we encouraging Cowboys fans just to settle? Why is that? I don't get it, right? I don't get it that people are being villainized in our community for wanting a defensive tackle, right? And so what happens is, if you want sugar, if you want someone to tell you just what you want to hear because you feel like we are good, we ready, we are ready, we are okay, then I'm not going to watch Tuck today because he wants defensive tackles, right? I see Sean in the chat want defensive tackles, so I ain't tuning into that. And let me go watch Lou. Oh, no, Lou's talking about defensive tackle. I ain't trying to go. Let me go watch Boss. Boss talking about defensive tackle. Nope, I'm not trying to hear that today neither. DMV talking about, oh, no, get me up out of here. Oh, shit, Rome's talking about, oh, Henny says we need a defensive tackle and DJ Reed. No, get me up out of here. Oh, here's a guy or girl who's telling us that all of our runs was on the outside. So defensive tackle really doesn't matter. Yeah. That's what I found me a home. All of our runs are on the outside, right? No team last year ran the A gap. You know what I'm saying? There is no team last year that ran A gap, even though I can pull up all the A gap runs with the click of a button. But no team ran the A and B gaps last year. It was just all on the outsides. Because I pulled up a next gen stat chart and all my squiggly lines were outside. That's what I want to hear. I want to find me someone that can confirm I'm good. Right? We do it all the time. We do it with doctors. You know, you can go to 4 doctors and tell you have high cholesterol. You're going to continue to go until you find that one doctor that says, You know what I'm saying? You're going to find that one doctor who's like, your cholesterol fine, bro. Yep, so that's why I like Dr. Paul, right? Because Dr. Paul know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Forget them surgeons telling me I got bad cholesterol. Dr. Paul said I'm good. I don't need no medicine, all right? And then when you lay on the operating table, you're going to realize Dr. Paul may have sold you some bullshit, right? So why is it a bad thing to overstock our roster? Why do we have to sit back and wait and see? Yeah, tell it to Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Ravens and the Saints, they ran all over us, bro. So because here in Lou will tell you, Henny will tell you, Angry will tell you, he played on the defensive side of the ball, right? It really comes down to your run lanes, right? So some of those outside runs might not be on the defensive tackles. What the Baltimore Ravens realized is, okay, we all saw the video, right? Let's make these ball hawking Dallas Cowboys corners tackle, right? Let's make Donovan Wilson tackle. You know what I'm saying? So to say that, our problem was a DN problem, no, it wasn't, right? We all have our run gaps. They were running at our corners. And some of those were Lamar Jackson scrambles as well. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, dog. We all watch the Cowboys games. We know defensive tackle is important. So what I want one of those people to jump on their camera and say is that teams didn't run the A gap because we had Mozzie. Teams didn't run in the A and B gaps because we had Jordan Phillips and Linval Joseph. That's what it was? No. Don't you understand the better interior play gives you one-on-one matchups on your perimeters for your defensive ends? Don't you understand better interior play gives you better lanes for your linebackers to flow? It's important. Defensive tackle interior, especially one tech, is just as important as a center or a guard. They are the center and the guards of the defensive line. They're extremely important. And there's no way you can convince anybody from a football perspective that we're good. No, we're good. Hey, we need a defensive tackle. Now I'm blame the run on Diggs. Diggs missed games last year, bro. It's not on Diggs. Right? Yeah. So people act like they were just running on the outside because they were afraid to run at Mozzie. No, they want to wear down our corners and make them tackle. Ramsey, please, bro. That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. I highly doubt that happens. When Jalen Ramsey, I highly doubt the Jair Alexander thing happens. I don't even think the Stephon Gilmore thing is in play either. I know there was conversations about Stephon Gilmore, but I don't think that is in play either. So if I had to gauge it, y'all, we're probably going to hit the camp with the corners that we have. You know, unless it's a massive June 1st cut, I just don't see it happening. So yeah, so that's what I want to kind of say, y'all. It's like, yo, I get it, but Cowboys Nation, especially the YouTube space, what goes on Twitter, Twitter's a lost cause, even though, you know, right? Facebook's a lost cause, and Reddit ain't no saving them. Just let them go, right? You know, we have to start policing our space, you know? Can't be clicking on everything. Can't be interacting on everything, y'all, because eventually it starts to get in your veins too. And that was my whole zombie analogy, right? It was my whole zombie analogy last year, right? Sometimes you got to stay away from that. You know, but I saw so many people was just in that fake ass, bot ass YouTube channel and was just commenting, yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence, I'm glad he's gone. He said he was never going to win a Super Bowl. $1 billion scam. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. AJ Brown licking his chops. AJ Brown and Smitty. So let's get over to camp. So got some camp news today. Nothing too crazy. Just the first day of mandatory, of course. Let's see here. I was talking about. Yep. So first day of mandatory camp. Everybody was in attendance today, which was good. You know, Brian Schottenheimer had an interview, and he spoke well. I kind of like Shotty when it comes to his energy. Of course, we all kind of know that. I'll say this, man. Shotty's so cold, bro. Shotty's so cold. He even has my wife's soul. You know what I'm saying? He even has my wife's soul. Shotty, you win, bro. Shotty has my wife's soul. You know what I'm saying? I was downstairs watching his interview, taking some notes, and she came downstairs like, who is that? I was like, oh, that's our new head coach. He's like, he sounds a whole lot better than the last guy. I was like, shit, you know what I'm saying? Shotty interview guru. You know what I'm saying? Because my wife was sold. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, he sounds a whole lot better than the last guy. I was like, damn, man, y'all act like Mike was a dum-dum in the press conferences. But hey, you know. So, you know, overall, you know, Micah did not participate today. He was just there. Clarence Hill had reported, and some other reporters, that he had spoke to Jerry. Micah and Jerry had talked for like 30 minutes off to the side. What was that conversation about? We did not know. You know what I'm saying? We did not know. But yeah, Jerry spoke to Micah, and he said that, you know, it's more about Jerry was just proud that Micah's there and how it was important that Micah's there. But hey, bro, don't put him in this shitty situation. Just get the deal done. Like, if you got to take a L, just take the L, bro. I feel like it's just sometimes you just got to just do it and get it done because you have two other players at the same position that's going to get paid. Like, why not just beat them to it, make Micah the highest paid tomorrow, right? And then let TJ Watt leave him, but that can be a Steelers problem. You know, there was a reports that from Patrick Nosey Walker, you know, George Pickens was getting targeted, right? So I guess a lot of Cowboys fans excited. There was a deep ball that I think George Pickens caught over double team. And then CeeDee Lamb got excited. Got excited about it, you know what I'm saying? Because CeeDee Lamb was probably happier that we got George Pickens. That he got George Pickens than we are. You know what I'm saying? Because he has somebody on the opposite side. They also talked about from the wide receiver position that Jalen Tolbert had a decent day, but also Jonathan Mingo was getting targeted a lot as well. So we'll have to keep our eye on wide receiver 3 to see how that all shapes out. But of course, they didn't have any pads on. Yeah, pay Micah in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Pay Micah in the chat. Micah emotes. Let's see. Yeah, pay Micah now. Ski Mash Jerry, pay Micah now. My dog DMV. All these reports, but nothing about the running back room, which is true. But you really can't say much about the running back room because, of course, they have pads on now. Brian Schottenheimer has spoken about it, and he said that, of course, because y'all remember, Mike McCarthy was getting fined. Y'all remember Mike McCarthy getting all those fines for mandatory OTAs when, doing too much, practicing too long, and, doing all that extra, So Mike McCarthy was getting fined. So Brian Schottenheimer was talking about in his press conference is that, you want to be in a situation where you really want to have these guys compete. What he says, be competitive but not combative, right? He didn't want to see fighting and all sorts of stuff like that, right? He just wants to see them compete and walk through and then wait till we get to camp. But, one thing I liked about the Schottenheimer interview, look at Schott, he's selling me on the interviews, was that he talked about, holding players accountable, building this rapport, but he wants to build a rapport because sometimes he got to bark on you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So he said there's been some situations that he's barked on a few players, right? Had to drop a few F-bombs here and there, right? So we haven't gotten those stories, right? We've gotten all the cute and cuddly stories when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer. But this is the stuff that really matters. Like when someone isn't doing their job, how is he holding them accountable? Because if you go back to last year, all them penalties, that undisciplinedness, that needs to go out the window. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely got to take that into consideration. Tyler Guyton with all them penalties, all them wide, hold players accountable. And it sounds like accountability is being preached throughout the entirety of the locker room. Micah Parsons spoke about Donovan D. Easy, who's one of my favorite draft picks, right? So, hey, there's no egos in this defensive end room, right? We all hold each other accountable. If I'm playing like shit, tell me I'm playing like shit, right? None of our shits don't stink. We all need, those conversations. And so I think once again, that is something that Micah really wanted. Hey, if you're not going full speed, I should be able to say it. And if I'm not going full speed, you should be able to say it. And you need people like that, right? You need people like that in your life that says sometimes you slipping, bro. You slipping, Tuck. I got a good friend, my best friend John, just called me a second ago. I had to put him on mute because I'm live streaming. But I know at the end of the day, if John says, yo, Tuck, you tripping on that one, bro, I know he's coming from a place of love. I've known him since I was 6 years old, right? My friend Marcus, known him since I was 7 years old. Hey, Tuck, you tripping on that one, dog. You need to delete that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll be all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So you need those people to hold you accountable. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be consistent, not just in rooms, right? I don't think it's Micah can just hold the defensive ends accountable, right? Micah can hold Mozzie accountable or Osa accountable. And then Osa can hold Trey accountable. And Trey can hold Wanye accountable. And then Wanye, I don't say Wanye probably won't lead Dak. But, y'all see what I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Wanye can hold CD accountable and CD can hold Deuce accountable and Javonte. And so it's accountability across the board. Wanye, I probably wouldn't go try to hold Dak accountable. I probably wouldn't try to go hold Dak accountable, my dog. I'd probably leave Dak alone. Let somebody else go do that one. But y'all see what I'm saying. Y'all see what I'm saying, right? Accountability across the board. Schottenheimer holding the coaches accountable. Now, of course, we all know upstairs, we'll hold everybody down here accountable across the board, but I guess y'all two up there, I guess y'all Gucci for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? It's like, right. But everybody else on the surface level will be held accountable. The two upstairs just do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever they want. But yeah, and then he also talked about in the interview having a multiple offense, right? And I think that Schottenheimer is not going to be one-dimensional. So, it's going to be a situation where, hey, he said, if we got to be 40-30, 40-20 on a run, one game, and 40 run, 20 throw on another game. It's just going to be that way, but it's like having different things with your offense, so it's not so easy to pick up on. I feel like that's my biggest knock when it comes to Mike, even though I liked Mike, you know what I'm saying? And people kind of like coin me as, oh, he's a Mike lover. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to sit here and act like Mike was Ron Rivera or some shit. Like, he was a good coach, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. And the team really liked him. But I feel like if there was a knock that I had for Mike McCarthy's offense, it was way too predictable, But sometimes you just know what you know. Sometimes you just know what you know. For example, I've been playing college football 26, and I've been playing a lot more tier 1 because that's where all the people like to hide, you know what I'm saying? So I played Terrence Parsons the other day. He dog walked the shit out of me. I've been playing my friend James, who plays with Texas, and I just cannot stop Isaiah Bond for the life of me, right? So I've been trying to use different playbooks and all sorts of stuff, and the Alabama scheme and USC scheme, and even went to Arizona's playbook, and I was putting up some points, right? And eventually something said, you know what, Tuck? As boring and slow as your offense is that you use to win is, stick with what you know. Stick with what you know. Don't try to be cute and you trying to air it out and score 45, points a game versus Isaiah Bond and, right. Stick with what you know. And what I know on that game, and Lou can tell you, Henny can tell you, I am Mr. Run that damn ball. I will line up in I formation and run the ball down your throat. Pause if you want to, but you're just going to take it, right? I'm old school, power football, I formation, pistol, I'm doing the old school stuff, right? Wing formation, 13 personnel, 3 tight end sets, just good old fashioned punch you in the mouth football. I had to get back to what I know, right? So as boring as it may seem, what works for you sometimes what you kind of go with, especially when you're in the contract years, right? But I think when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer, you're going to see variations of this offense. It's going to be a little bit more modern. You'll probably see a lot more motions. You'll see some of the cute stuff, right? You'll see some of the cute stuff when it comes to wrinkles in our offense that some of you guys have been asking for. Tighter splits, tempo, which I definitely like. Motion. I know you guys were big on motions, motions, right? So you'll probably see that as an uptick when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer's office. My dog, Boss Cowboy in the building. Boss, I had to talk to him, bro. I had to talk to him about all them fake ass zombies that was created last year and, hating on Micah, right? Boss, they was super loud last year with the Micah hate, right? Micah's not a leader, all that stuff. But it's kind of quiet right now. Sean, lots of play action. And he also, brought in an interesting nugget. He's talking about Joe Milton, who I think Joe Milton's having a solid showing thus far, right? When it comes to changing the offense from Dak Prescott to Joe Milton, he says, hey, ideally back in the past, you would like that to be the case, right? But sometimes you have to adapt. Sean, Mike is lazy, not a leader, doesn't watch film, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff, right? But he was like, sometimes you'll have to adjust to Joe Milton's skill set, right? So that is something that I think that will excite me, is that I don't want Joe Milton, if something was to happen to Dak, right, running that same old here we go offense, right? And I think that's why Cooper Rush really won the job, because one, Mike McCarthy wasn't going to change his offense. And I think that was the only thing that Cooper Rush had over Trey Lance, to be honest with you, is that Cooper Rush knew that Mike McCarthy offense. So Mike McCarthy got to change nothing, right? Dak went down. It was here we go, here we go, here we go. The same old offense. When it came to Trey Lance, you would have to go back to modern RPO style, you know what I'm saying, high flying, gun slinging, and that's just not Mike McCarthy's game, right? It's just not Mike McCarthy's game, especially, like I said, when you're in a contract year. So I think that if that is the case when it comes to Joe Milton, you will see an uptick with innovation, and that will bring out the highlights and the traits that Joe Milton can really do. Now, is Joe Milton the mobile, scrambling, dual threat that Trey Lance was? No, but he's a more polished quarterback than Trey Lance by far. So we'll see how that all works out. Talked about the multiple offense. Talked about the connection that he has with Micah Parsons, and I thought that was dope, right? Because we all saw the viral video of Micah doing the TikToking, calling people good night. I will say this, Micah, one, is smart because he had Osa's name in his phone as Osa Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? He was not about to even attempt to try to spell Odighizuwa. He just left it alone and just said Osa Cowboys. All right, cool. 2, it's good to know that Micah Parsons has a relationship with the players that if he calls them at night, they actually pick up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, bro, I was low-key jealous. I was low-key jealous that Mike McCarthy was able to call his friends at night, and they picked up the phone. If I call my friends tonight at 9 o'clock, they're going to text me and be like, yo, you good? We all do that. You know what I'm saying? It might be 9:30, 10. We get a phone call from somebody. Hey, bro, you mean to call me? I mean, you good? You straight? Because you're calling me at 10 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? I just want to just make sure you're straight. They'll text me back. They are not picking up the phone at 10 o'clock at night to hear what I got to say. I could be in trouble or something. Man, I swear, if I text my friends or call my friends at 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to get no answer, no response, and they're going to text me back like, yo, you good? You mean to do that? Because you're calling me at 10 at night. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't even pull off the good night trick even if I wanted to, because my friends ain't picking up. You know what I'm saying? But not just the rapport with the players, with Brian Schottenheimer. I thought it was dope that Micah Parsons already has a relationship close enough with Schotty. Like, you know what? Let me call and mess with Schotty for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me call and mess with Schotty for a little bit. Now, Schotty said he had to blame his son. He was mad at his son, right? Because his son needs to put him up on game about what's going on TikTok. Honestly, I didn't know what was going on either. You know what I'm saying? So Schotty don't do social media. And it's like he's a young. How old is Schotty? How old is he? Look at him. How old is Schotty? Let me see him. Probably like 50s. How old is he? 52, right? 52. So he's an old young soul. You know what I'm saying? Schotty's still an unk. I'm saying I still got Schotty in the unk phase, right? So he ain't paying attention to what's going on with TikTok. You know what I'm saying? He like me. Is he 51? I got 51, 53. Google says 52. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of at that range. He's still unk phase, right? So he's still cool enough, but he's old enough to not even rock with it, right? Like me, right? So many Cowboys fans like, yo, Tuck, I love your TikTok, love your TikTok, love your TikTok. Go live on TikTok. And me, I was like, man, I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I try, right? But yeah, so Schotty was unaware, but I thought it was cool that Micah had that rapport with Schotty. Like, yo, let me just call and mess with Coach for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Versus, hey, man, I'm not sure if that, because if Micah would have pulled that on Zim, he'd have probably had to, you know what I'm saying, cut that whole video. You know what I'm saying? If Micah would have tried that stunt on Zim last year, he'd have probably got cussed out. Hey, bro, what you calling my phone for? Hey, dog, you know what I'm saying? It's 10 o'clock. Zim would be like, hey, dog, you good? You like, shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He called me, waking me up out. Because you know Zim probably go to sleep like 8 o'clock, 8:30. You know what I'm saying? If Micah were to call Zim playing on his phone, all of us old school people, our number one rule, we do not like nobody playing on our phone. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that we grew up with. Hey, bro, I don't like nobody playing on my phone. Y'all remember that Dave Chappelle skit? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't like people playing on my phone. Hey, bro, you better not call Zim playing on the phone. So I think it's good that Micah had that type of connection with Brian Schottenheimer to even do that. So I just think that, of course, y'all, wait till the pads come on. They're going to have 5 weeks off for the veterans till they get out to Oxnard, right? But I will say this team is they're connected as a unit right now. connected as a unit. Yeah, after 9 p.m. I'm in bed. Yeah, I put my phone on do not disturb. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when keeping it real goes wrong, I don't like people playing on my phone. You know, Zim would have been getting it in with that girly guy. Yeah, Zim happily married, you know what I'm saying? Zim would have been off a Blue Chew or two and said, hey, bro, don't be playing on my phone right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, I'm trying to get it in. Yeah. But good night to you, too. You know? Salute to Coach Zim, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It happens, but I put my phone on do not disturb. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, I think it's a good. So I think that this team is bonding, y'all. We'll start to look at different things. You know, there was some film clips. Media couldn't have any film out there, but I did see some kind of motions with Kevontae Turpin in the backfield. Like DMV said, wasn't much news reported about the running back room. And also, I need more Marshawn Kneeland news. I am not hearing a lot about Marshawn Kneeland. Hear about Maris, right? Cooper Beebe, so to Cooper Beebe, my neighbor. We did it, y'all. He got married. But I'm not hearing a lot about Marshawn Kneeland. And I feel like when it comes to the defensive end room, if you're like me, that's where my binoculars will be at camp. Will I be there at camp? I don't know. Probably, I might come to camp when it's in Frisco. Maybe I'll come to camp when it's in Dallas versus going out to Oxnard. Because one, my son Cam, like I said, he's graduating, going to college. So I'm taking him on a trip, right? So I was like, pick anywhere in the world you want to go to, my son. I'm taking you for a graduation trip, right? Where's my son pick? New York. He picks New York. I'm like, yo, son, like, we can go anywhere, domestic, or you want to travel international, let me know. And he's been looking at stuff, you know. I'm like, all right, son, where do you want to go so we can start planning for the trip? He's like, I want to go to New York City. Oh, that was Cooper Beebe's brother. Okay, his brother got married, not Cooper Beebe. Okay, cool. Yeah, but he picked New York. You know what I'm saying? I was like, but he's not coming off of New York. So I tried California. I tried Florida. I said we can go to the Dominican, the Virgin Islands. He's stuck on New York City. My bad, Clyde. My bad, bro. My bad, dog. But I was like, bro, New York City in the hot ass July. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to talk him out of it, but he's stuck on New York. I don't know. He must think he's a Ninja Turtle or some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Kneeland's a big defensive end. His superpower won't show till pads come on. Yeah, I agree. I want to see specifically, Chris, where is Kneeland lining up at, right? Is he playing some 3-techs? I know last year he played some 3-tech at camp. I want to see, are they maybe putting him as the Chauncey replacement, or maybe Sam Williams would be that Chauncey-ish guy that can slide inside and out. Solomon Thomas definitely missed the weight room. So Solomon Thomas looked decent. And yeah, that was kind of all, you know what I'm saying? Of course, like I said, Pickens stole the day, of course. I think he's going to continue. I think all eyes will be on Pickens all camp. And I think I said the team's excited. So like I said, overall, y'all, when it comes to this team, it's just going to probably be different. You know, personally, I feel like it's going to be a different feel, right? It's probably not going to be the Cowboys that we've accustomed to seeing. It's probably going to be more of a, I don't know. I'm trying to compare it. I don't know who I would compare them to. Probably like a younger, up-and-coming team. You know what I'm saying? Where, know who I compare this Cowboys team to? I will compare this Dallas Cowboys team to the Green Bay Packers team that beat us. I think that it's going to be that kind of season, right? Where we might not be scaring a lot of people, but it's going to be like, yo, we left a lot of scratches on these other teams' faces. You know what I'm saying? And if we are able to get into the playoffs, we could scare the shit out of a lot of people. You know, I feel like we'll kind of fly on the radar, you know, take our lumps, you know, a little bit, but we'll fight, we'll scrap, we'll scrape. I'm like, oh, damn, the Cowboys lost to Detroit, but we left the odds black and blue, you know, until all of a sudden the Cowboys at the end of the season, hey, man, they play a little bit better than we expected. You know what I'm saying? They play a whole lot better than we expected. I think that's the case, right? Now, don't be saying, oh, yeah, Tucker, hey, I just watched Jay Tucker. He says everything's good, and we're going to be like, whoa. I'm saying if I can kind of gauge it, right? Because Matt LaFleur was kind of an unproven guy, but he was kind of energetic, you know what I'm saying? You know, we had Jordan Love. You know, we kind of had some guys, right? But if you look at that Green Bay Packers team, it's like, well, I watched them like, oh, shit, they played Kansas City hella tough. Like, they played some good teams hella tough. They just fell short, right? So they were right there, right? I feel like the Cowboys would kind of be in that range where it's not like we're going to scare a lot of people. We're probably not going to be up high in the power rankings. We're probably not going to go on these 8-win runs or anything like that. But there's going to be some competitive games, some competitive losses, some good victories, right? But the whole thing is to get us prepared for, as my dog Lou and Boss has been saying, is winter. But the job ain't done, right? We still need one techs. We still need corners. We still need to continue to build our roster. Let's not settle, Cowboys Nation. Let's settle for greatness, man. So it's your boy Jay Tuck. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I got to get ready to go to boxing. Here, get back in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to, you know, and I'm kind of inspired. Man. I was telling Boss this, one of my good friends. Salute to my dog Josh, man. Grew up with him coming up as kids, man, and he was telling me how I inspired him. He's watching me go for my goals, and you know, he just won a plaque or won a trophy in bodybuilding, man. He started like a year ago. I was like, bro, if I inspire you, you're inspiring me. So you're going for your bodybuilding stuff, and I see what you did. I want to try it. You know what I'm saying? I want to try it. Let me see if I can go win me a bodybuilding trophy. You know what I'm saying? And I know the dedication that goes into it. I know the sacrifices, but I see that one of my friends have done it. I want to see if I can push for it, man. So I'm about to lock in. I worked out for the second time. Got off the phone, working out, talking to Boss. And, yeah, I want to kind of go push for it. Kamel Moten, you're talking about boxing? Yeah, boxing, man. Speaking of boxing, it's official. It's official. Finally, I've been booked for months. Crawford Canelo, September 13th. I will be there. I will be in the building. I will be in attendance for Canelo versus Crawford in Las Vegas. I'm already mentally there, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Canelo versus Crawford, September 13th, Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy, and I will be in the building. Sadiqa says, Tuck, my brother, I'm watching. Take him to New York City. I know, we're going to New York City, sis. I guess. You know what I'm saying? I guess. But could have just went to Florida. I want to go to Epic Universe. You know what I'm saying? So I told him he's going to college. Dad is going to Epic Universe even with them or without them. Because they know I will go to Florida. I will go to the theme park on my own and send them photos if they keep playing with me. You know what I'm saying? If they keep playing with me, I will go to Epic Universe on my own and get on all the Mario rides, do all the Harry Potter rides, and say, wish you was here. Just like this Jerry shirt. You know what I'm saying? Hey, wish you was here. So I'm trying to get them to go to Epic Universe because they're getting too cool for Dad right now. So we'll see how all unfolds, man. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll go live. Oh, I can't go live tomorrow because I got boxing tomorrow night. But yeah, we'll continue to do content as we do. Thursday, I'm going to the Yankees game, so I won't be live Thursday. Friday, me and Lou are going live at 6, right, Lou? I think we're going live at 6 p.m., so I'll be going live Friday night with my dog Lou, and we're continuously pump out content. And do what we do, y'all. But like I said, y'all, make sure y'all being smart with the content that you digest, right? Not everybody in this community or on YouTube or wherever are here for the right reasons. And I'm not even saying this as a promo for me. You guys should be following me because I am holier than thou. I am not, right? But I will say that there are quality people who you guys know who are in it for the right reasons, and there are people who are in this not as getting louder and louder and more polluted, right? There's bots, AI bots, it's all sorts of shit, right? Doing content. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't know this, right? If you go watch, there's a short that I did on my channel, right? It is about Caleb Johnson, right? So go check that out, right? If you watch that video, it's me, but it's not me. I was just experimenting with AI, and I literally typed into this AI software. It took my voice from my videos. It took some of my tweets I've had about Caleb Johnson, and it made a short for me automatically. That's not me talking. That's not me talking. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so that's how crazy it is in the content space, where I can go and just type in some stuff. It'll take my voice off my videos and make YouTube shorts about it. You know what I'm saying? It's a scary game right now, y'all. But like I said, y'all are smart, but y'all know that I'm going to continue to rock for the community, because the one thing I do want to win is a 6th championship, man. So y'all have a good one. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. Peace.